Let me ask you a question. Have you watched a bunch of World Cup predictions and every single time they end with England, Spain, France, and Portugal in the semifinal? Because let me tell you, I have, and it is so annoying. There is a 0% chance that actually happens. Last time we had Croatia and Morocco in the semifinal after they were in the same group at that same tournament. We had Costa Rica in a quarterfinal. We had England in a semifinal, which might not sound that crazy, but it was 2018 England, where Jesse Lingard was wearing number 7. In that same tournament, you had Croatia making it all the way to the final. Crazy stuff happens in the World Cup. And so today I'm doing my final predictions, and it's going to be actually realistic. I'm not just putting all the favorites through like people love to do because they're scared of getting stuff wrong. I'm going to predict some crazy things to happen because that's what's going to happen. Will I get the right crazy things? Maybe not. But let's see. I've got a good idea of what I'm going to do. I'll tell you right now, of those 4, Spain, Portugal, England, France, only one of them is making it to my semifinal. I won't tell you which one yet. However, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with every single prediction, okay? Like, some of this is going to be off the cuff. I've done a few predictions. I like what I got. Sometimes don't like what I got with the others, but this is it. This is my final prediction. So here we go. Salvy's 2026 World Cup final predictions. It is currently 2 days to the tournament. It is the 9th of June. I don't know if this video is going to go up the day before or the day after the World Cup starts, but here we go. This is it. World Cup predictions. Let's go. So, Group A, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. Game 1, Mexico, South Africa. I think Mexico win this 2-0, something like that. And then Czechia, I think, is going to get, I'm going to say, 1-0, maybe from a penalty against South Korea in the opening game. So this is what the group would look like after one match day. Then it's Mexico, South Korea, and I'm going to say that's a draw. I don't think Mexico is going to get 9 points. I do think they stumble somewhere. So I'm going to say this is a draw. Maybe 0-0, 1-1. And then Czechia, South Africa, I'm also going to say this is a draw. I'm going to say this is a more exciting draw, maybe like 2-2. So it'd be 4 points for each of these. South Korea, South Africa, both on 1. Final match day, a game to decide the group, Mexico, Czechia. I'm going to say Mexico win it. So they end with 7 points, Czechia 4. And then South Korea beat South Africa to end on 4 as well. Because I need to choose my third place teams, I'm going to write down what I think they'll have. So Korea, I'm going to say they have 4 points, and I'll go, honestly, 4 points will be good enough to have them through. So I'm just going to write there 4 points. So they will probably be in the round of 16. Next, Canada's group. I think that, here, I'll put the ball down. Canada, Canada, Bosnia is the first game. I think Bosnia win this. I think they get 3 points. 1-0, I'm going to say, in Toronto. It's going to be sad, but I think they get the win. And then Switzerland, I think, beat Qatar probably by 2 goals. In the next game, a game that I will be attending in Vancouver, Canada-Qatar, I think Canada win. I'm going to say 3-1. I doubt we score 3 goals, but I'm going to say 3-1. And then Switzerland-Bosnia, I think this will be really close to a tie, but Switzerland will just edge it out. It might be a draw, though. So Switzerland 6, Bosnia and Canada both on 3, Qatar on 0. And then final match day, another game I'm going to, Switzerland-Canada. I think that Switzerland is going to win 1-0. And Bosnia-Qatar, I don't really like predicting teams to get 0 points because it actually is pretty rare. Take a guess right now. How many teams do you think got 0 points in 2022? Because there were 8 groups. So that means 8 teams could potentially get 0 points. It was 2 teams got 0 points. And you're looking at them. Qatar and Canada both got 0 points in 2022. In retrospect, that's not crazy because Canada was in what you'd probably call, after the tournament happened, you look at that group, they were probably in the group of death. Croatia and Morocco both made the semi-final, the final 4 of the tournament. And then Belgium, they were absolute frauds, but they were still the #1 ranked team in the world somehow. So Canada, really tough group. Not surprising they got 0 points in that. And then Qatar, they were the seed in their group, and they still got Netherlands, Ecuador, and Senegal. Crazy tough group for Qatar. You can see what kind of group Canada got as a host. So much easier. And yes, there are 12 more teams at this World Cup than the last one, but still. So I'm going to say Qatar and Bosnia tie, just to give Qatar a point. And it won't matter because Switzerland will get top. So, Switzerland on 9, Bosnia on 4, Canada with 3. And I'm going to give them we'll say they beat Qatar by 2. I'll say an even goal differential. Even goal differential. Next is the first non-host group. I think Brazil and Morocco in the opening game. I think it's a draw. Haiti and Scotland, I'm going to say Scotland win by 1. Although I would not be surprised if Haiti won. I really wouldn't be. I'm just gonna go with Scotland just for now, but I would not be surprised if Haiti won that. And then it comes down to goal differential, and I think that Brazil is going to have a better goal differential than Morocco, and then Scotland will end on 3 points. And as for what they have, I think they're going to lose to Brazil by 1 and lose to Morocco by 2, while beating Haiti by 1. So I think they're going to have a minus. What would that be? A -1 goal differential, right? No, -2 goal differential. But yeah, I do think this. I know a lot of people are picking Morocco over Brazil, and I think that is possible. Absolutely. I'm going to go with Brazil, and the reason why I say it's a draw, then Brazil wins on goal differential, is I'm always hedging my bets because I think that it could be a draw. I do also think Brazil could just win that game. But that is my pick. Now we get to, by far, the most even group in the tournament, from top to bottom. Some groups are really even, but they might have one really bad team, right? France's group, Germany's group are both kind of like that. Opening game of the tournament, or opening game of the group, USA-Paraguay. I feel so bad for Enciso, man. I'm going to say USA win. I'll say 1-0. And then Australia-Turkey here. Let me just get them all down here. And then go back, because it forced me to the next one. So I'm going to say Turkey win against Australia by 2 goals. USA win against Paraguay by 1. Then next game is USA-Australia. I'm going to say Australia win. 1-0. Meanwhile, Turkey beat Paraguay. So Turkey have 6 points. USA 3. Australia 3. Paraguay nothing. And Australia, on head-to-head, they'd be beating the USA. I think they would have a worse goal differential, though, which is the first tiebreaker, because they lost by 2 to Turkey. Final match day, USA-Turkey. I think USA might get a needed win. Draw. I'm going to say they get a draw. Do they, though? Anyway, then I'm going to say Paraguay get a win against Australia. So I'm going to actually just write out this. So Paraguay, Australia, USA, Turkey. I think Paraguay end with 3. Australia end with 3. And then, do I give USA? Yeah, I'm going to say it's 6-6. So then Turkey would have a plus. I'll say they win by 2. They win by 1, and they lose by 1. So plus 2. And then USA win by 1, lose by 1. I'm going to say they have a plus 1. So yeah, I'm going to say Turkey win on goal differential. USA is fuming. They're like, we beat them. How do they win the group? But no, they get second. And Australia lose by 2, win by 1, so -1, lose again. So I'm going to say Paraguay win by 2 goals, actually. So yes, I'm going to say Paraguay next. And then Paraguay would lose by 1, lose by 1, win by 2. I'm going to say they have an even goal differential. -1. So Paraguay 3 points and a -1 goal differential. I think that USA could win this final game and top it, but I believe in Turkey, man. Next, we have one of my favorite groups at the tournament. I think this and France's group, I already shouted them out. Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. I think in the opening game, Germany beat Curacao. I'm going to say 8-0. 8-0. Then 6-0. And then Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, one of the games of that first few days. It's on a Sunday, I believe. The game it starts on Thursday. It's a Sunday game. I'm gonna be sat down to watch that one. And I'm still back and forth between this. I really am. But I think I'm gonna give Ecuador a 2-1 win. I'm gonna give Ecuador a 2-1 win. Then it is Ecuador versus Curacao. I think Ecuador wins. I'll say 3-1. And then Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, 2-2. 2-2. So Ecuador, 6 points. Germany, 4. Cote d'Ivoire, 1. Curacao, nothing. Cote d'Ivoire, final match day, they get a much-needed 4-0 win against Curacao to go to 4 points. Germany and Ecuador, I'm going to say Germany win. And so it ends like this. Cote d'Ivoire with 4 points, so they will be through. And yeah, I'm really excited about this group because I could honestly see Ecuador winning it. I could see Cote d'Ivoire getting second and Ecuador getting third. Like, so exciting. Prayers to Curacao. Then, another huge game. Netherlands, Japan. And I'm going to give it to Netherlands. I think Netherlands 2-1 win. And then Sweden beat Tunisia. I'm going to say by more than 1 goal. So Sweden will be momentarily topping this group. Then it's Sweden, Netherlands win. And then Japan, Tunisia, and Japan win. So 6-3-3-0. And Sweden, Japan, I'm going to say Japan win that to get 6 points. And Netherlands get 9. So this is a 9-6-3-0 group. And so Sweden with 3 will have, I'll say plus 2, then -2 against Netherlands, so even. So I'll say -1. I'll say Sweden -1. Okay, now we get to. So I already said I'm going to 2 games. I'm going to Canada, Qatar, Canada, Switzerland. I'm also going to Belgium, New Zealand. Unless the plans fall through, I'm going to go with my cousin. But at the moment, I'm going to go to Belgium, New Zealand. That's the last game in this group, or last match day. I think the opening match day, I think Belgium gets, I'll say a 2-0 win against Egypt. Meanwhile, Iran, I'll tell you right now, I've had Iran second in this group, which would match them up against the United States for a long time. Basically, as soon as the brackets were being made, back when the draw happened, I've been saying Iran were going to get second. But the fact that they have to stay in Tijuana, fly to their games, which are in Seattle, Los Angeles, and then go right back, like, because they can't stay in the U.S., I think that's just going to be too much for them. I think in the opening game against New Zealand, it might even be a draw. It might be a draw. I'm going to give them a win, but it's by 1 goal. And so after 1 match day, it's looking like this. Then Belgium, Iran, Belgium win, 6 points. Iran on 3. And then Egypt, New Zealand. I think Egypt, do they win? Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like Egypt and New Zealand, I'm pretty sure neither of them have won a game at the World Cup. They're like Canada. I think neither of them won a game, which sounds ridiculous, but I think that's right. So this would be a really good game. Imagine I go draw. No, I think I'm going to go Egypt. Egypt win. So it's 6-3-3-0. That would make this game, Belgium versus New Zealand, meaningless, the one I'm going to. But it's not head-to-head. It's goal differential. That's the first tiebreaker. So this would still mean something, or else Belgium could still get second in the group. And then I'm going to say Egypt beat Iran. And maybe New Zealand and Belgium's a draw or something fun, and I'm there to witness it. I'm going to go with this. And I think Iran, I really want USA-Iran in Dallas, I think it is July 3rd, the day before Independence Day, on a Friday. Are you serious? Like, that's just too good to be true. And so it's going to be Egypt instead. I don't think it's going to be Iran. And Iran, 3 points. And I'm going to say -2, -1. I'll say a -2 goal differential, which isn't looking too good for them. Next, okay. I haven't had any crazy takes yet, I feel like. It's all been pretty normal. You might have to wait for the knocker stage. Here's my first one coming up. Spain, Cape Verde, and Uruguay. One of the easiest groups here. I think Spain win, say like 3-0 against Cape Verde, and Uruguay squeeze out a 1-0 win against Saudi Arabia. Then Uruguay, Cape Verde is a draw, 1-1, and Spain, Saudi Arabia, yeah, 4-0, 4-1 for Spain. So Cape Verde's on 1, Saudi Arabia 0, Uruguay on 4 and 6, and then in the final match day, Uruguay get a 1-0 win against Spain to top the group. All Spain needed was a draw. So maybe they play a little differently. And Uruguay, they know Cape Verde is winning this game in Saudi Arabia. So they want to win, and they do. So this is my first big shock. And I have Cape Verde with 4 points, which means they're through the knockout round. I'm telling you right now, this is a new development. I did not have this before today. This is a new development because I just thought, I need one of these big teams. Maybe it's Belgium, maybe it's Germany, maybe France. One of these big teams isn't going to win their group. And I'm going with Spain. I know they're a lot of people's pick to win. I just have a feeling, and I might be wrong, and then, hey, whatever. But, this is my feeling. I think Spain and Uruguay, I could see it happening. Where Spain think they're good, they win their first 2 games. Uruguay didn't even win their first 2 games, and then it ends up being... It's like a 1950 Brazil just need to tie to win the World Cup, and then they end up losing, right? Spain just needed a tie, and Uruguay end up going through as group winners. Now we get to the best group there is. African champions. Yes, they're the African champions. Not actually champions of anything. France aren't technically champions of anything right now, but probably best team in the world, and then best striker in the world. Sorry, Iraq, this one sucks. I'm gonna say France. This is so tough as well. To pick individual groups here, this is really tough. Or individual games, I don't know. I think Norway win. I'm gonna say 3-0 in the opening game. So they will be topping the group to start things off. And I'll say that, I'll say France win. I think France win 2-1, but it could be a draw. It really could be. Second match day, France win, 4-0 against Iraq. And then one of the games of the group stage, Norway-Senegal. I'm going to give it to Senegal. I'm going to say 2-1 Senegal. And so France is on 6, Norway and Senegal both on 3, but Norway obviously has played Iraq, so they have a better goal differential. Senegal win, 3-1 against Iraq to secure second place. And I'm actually going to say Norway-France 2-2 draw. So France on 7, Senegal on 6, Norway on 4, Iraq on 0. So Norway will be fine. And we're on to the next one. But this group could be way different. Argentina, Algeria, I think this is a 2-1 win to Argentina. And then Austria, Jordan, I think Austria, 3-0, maybe even. So I'll say that after one match day, Austria is on top. Then Argentina, Austria, I really do think this could be close to a draw. Because I don't think Argentina are that good. It's funny that I just said that. You'll see why. I don't think Argentina are the best team in the world, even though they're the reigning world champs, right? So I'm going to say this is a draw. I'm going to say Austria, Argentina. I'm going to say it's like a 1-1. 1-1 draw. And then Algeria beats Jordan. So it's 4-4-3-0. Argentina then go out and destroy Jordan. 3-0, while Austria might even draw Algeria. It's going to be tough. I might even say that. Yeah, I say they draw. So Austria, 5 points. Argentina, 7. And then Algeria get 4. So another team that's going to be through to the next round. And with 2 groups to go, Portugal, I say Portugal is going to win against DR Congo. I'll say 2-1. It's going to be close. This is going to be Portugal-Ghana to start their World Cup last time, 4 years ago. And then Colombia-Uzbekistan, I think this is going to be closer than people think. I think 1-0 Colombia. But after one match day, that's what I'm going for. Then Portugal-Uzbekistan, I'll say 3-1 Portugal. And then Colombia-DR Congo, I'm going to say 1-1. And then DR Congo-Uzbekistan, what a game. You're a real ball lover if you're excited for Congo, Uzbekistan. That's going to be amazing. I think Congo have 1 point at this point, and Uzbekistan have 0. I'm going to go Uzbekistan, man. I'm going to say they get 3 points. And so they would have 3 points, and I'll say -2, -1. So -2 goal differential. I don't think that's going to be enough. Colombia, Portugal. I think it might be a draw. Doesn't matter. It's either a Portugal winner or a draw. I think Portugal wins the group. Last one. England, Croatia. I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1. And then Ghana, Panama, 2-2. So it's all square after 1. England then beat Ghana, I'll say 3-0. Croatia beat Panama, I'll say 2-1 actually, closer. And then England beat Panama 6-0. Croatia beat Ghana 4 something. I don't know. 3-1. And so on goal differential, it'll be 7 points England, 7 points Croatia, and then 1 point each for Ghana and Panama, which make them, I'll say Panama is a little bit better. So they are not going to make it to the last round. So what we have is on 4 points, we have Algeria, we have Norway, we have Cote d'Ivoire, we have Cape Verde, we have South Korea. Then on 3 points and even goal differential, we have Canada. And then -1 goal differential, I have one more spot. No, I have 2 more spots. I have Paraguay and I have Sweden. So the teams not making it are 1 point Panama, 3 points and -2 goal differential Iran, 3 points and -2 goal differential Scotland, and 3 points and -2 goal differential Uzbekistan. Here we go. On to the knockouts. Now, I know roughly what they're going to look like, but I have changed some of my predictions from the last time I did this. So here we go. Germany, Paraguay. This is actually going to be pretty close. I believe these two played each other. No. I was going to say 2006, but no. They almost played each other in 2010. But Spain got in the way. Knocked them both out in consecutive rounds in 2010. On a Monday in Boston, I think Germany get it done. Maybe 2-1. Then France, Sweden. That'll be a fun one. I think Sweden might do a little bit better than Poland did in France's first knockout game of the last World Cup. I'll say a fun 3-2, where people were like, "Oh, Sweden actually isn't that bad." I'll say France. Then this is a game I've had circled. I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. I really do feel confident with Bosnia getting second in Canada's group, in my group. And then I like Czechia for second best behind Mexico in Group A. And so on a Sunday in Los Angeles, I'm saying Bosnia, man. What a story. And why not? I think that's a pretty even game. Big physical game. Why can't it be Bosnia on pens? Right? I don't know. Both teams qualified through the playoff. Now we got Netherlands, Morocco, and this is why I see so many people talking about Morocco and how it's semifinals or bust. It's oh, we got to the semifinals last time. We got to get to the semifinals again this time. And I'm like, man, you're probably playing Netherlands or Japan in the next round. Both of whom I have beating you. I think it's Netherlands. I'll say maybe it's in extra time. Maybe it's 2-1 in extra time or something, but I got Netherlands there. Colombia, Croatia. This is another one that I've got circled. I mean, this could be Portugal, Croatia. It could be England, Colombia, both of which are games we've seen at previous Euros, World Cups. Colombia, Croatia in Toronto. And because you see the next game here, because I have Spain losing their group, the winner of this, I hate to spoil it, so I've got Uruguay here against Austria. Do I? Hold on. Hold the phone on that. Colombia, Croatia. I think Croatia's the better team, but have you considered it's going to be hot? I'm going Colombia. I think the 1st of July, it's too hot out there for those Croatians. I'm going to go Colombia on penalties. I'm going to say Croatia's 4. Yeah, it's 4, right? 2 in 2018, 2 in 2022. Their 4 penalty shootout streak comes to an end against Colombia. And then on Austria, Uruguay. Austria are good. I have them tying Argentina. do I say Austria here? I think I do. That's not something I've ever considered. I've done this bracket many times, and I have this same quadrant here, and I've always had Uruguay, but now I'm like seeing it, and I'm thinking, yeah, Austria. I'm gonna go Austria. Turkey, Canada. The funny thing is, if USA do beat Turkey, which I almost had, this would be Canada USA, which is just, that would suck. That would suck to be knocked out by USA. I would love to say Canada here, and there's a chance this Canada could play Korea. There's a chance, like with the third place teams, like maybe Canada could play Korea. You know, I'm gonna say, or maybe it's with the second. If Canada gets second, they could play Korea. I think we beat Korea. I don't think we beat Turkey. Turkey wins. Which would be crazy because that would set up a game in Seattle, which like I could go to. That's not out of the question. I could go to that. Belgium, Korea. I think Belgium take that. I think they'd be at 9 points, maybe 7. Maybe New Zealand draw them or something. I think they're gonna be at 9 points, and yeah, I like Belgium winning that comfortably. Oh yeah, I'll say Turkey. I'll say 2-0, and then Belgium. I'll say 3-0. And then in these ones, yeah, Austria, I'll say 1-0 here, and then 1-1, and then penalties. On to the other side of the bracket, Brazil, Japan. This is one I, for a long time, said Japan. I said, yep, no question, Japan's going to win this. And then about like 2 weeks ago, probably right before the friendlies, I just thought, you know what? Is Japan's first knockout stage win in a World Cup really going to come against Brazil? That just sounds way too anime, right? In 2022, they already had a crazy anime run where they had the ball that like almost went out against Spain, and then they cut it in for the goal, and they come back against Germany and Spain, and then they make the knockout stage, and they should have beat Croatia to play Brazil, and they blew it in the penalties and stuff. It just feels way too anime for me that Japan beat Brazil as their first World Cup knockout stage win. So I'm gonna go Brazil. But for so long, I had Japan. For so long. For months, I had Japan winning this game as soon as the draw was made. I'll say 1-0 Brazil. Ecuador, Senegal. This is a game the streets will never forget, man. One of the best defensive teams in the world, Ecuador, finished second in CONMEBOL qualifying, and then the champions of Africa. What a game. I'm gonna say in extra time. In extra time. In extra time. I'm gonna say Senegal. Mexico, Cape Verde. I'll say 3-2 Mexico. I'll say it's like a really open game, and Cape Verde get a couple goals, but I'll say 3-2 to Mexico. It's in Mexico City. I mean, yeah. Then in Atlanta, England versus Norway. I'm going to say this is extra time 2-1 win for England. But it's close. Extra time 2-1 win for England. Okay. The World Cup final. A lot of people have this as their World Cup final. Argentina, Spain. I have it as my round of 32. Miami Stadium, Friday, 3rd of July. And I already had Spain having a pretty bad tournament, losing against Uruguay. I'm going to say this is a penalty shootout and Argentina win. The reigning champs stay in, Spain out in the round of 32. Will that prediction absolutely screw me? Probably. Spain is probably going to win their group. And if you look up here, they win their group. Yeah, they're probably going to beat Austria and then Colombia and then Belgium, right? So this prediction I have of Spain losing to Uruguay, it means that their path to the semifinal is just completely destroyed. And I think Spain probably will make a semifinal. Like, if I had to bet my life on it, I'd be like, yeah, they probably make it to the semifinal rather than getting knocked out in the round of 32. But good thing my life isn't on this. USA, Egypt, yeah, USA win that. I've been pretty certain that USA is going to win their first knockout game and then get knocked out by the good team they play, because they're almost definitely going to play a good team. If they win their group, they'll be in this spot, and then I think they'll lose to Belgium. Like, I think it's just whichever first good team they come up against, they lose to. Switzerland, Algeria, that's really fun. That's a really fun one. In BC Place, this is one I could go to. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 2-1 Switzerland, but it's close. And Algeria really, yeah. Do I even go Algeria? I don't know. And then Portugal, Cote d'Ivoire, I think extra time, 1-0 Portugal. Let's go back up to the top. France, Germany. I just don't think Germany are that good. Their midfield isn't that. Their defense, I don't know. I think France, 3-1. France are just way too offensively good. And then Bosnia, happy to have you. That's it, 2-0 for Netherlands. Then definitely the coolest round of 16 we have, Colombia, Austria. Did I mention it's going to be hot in Dallas? Actually, I said it's going to be hot. This was the Toronto game. It's still hot. It's still hot. I think it's hot again, and I'm going to go Colombia. And then Turkey, Belgium in Seattle. Do I believe in Turkey, or do I think Belgium? I'm gonna go Belgium. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm seeing them. This is one of the teams. Belgium and Switzerland are the two good teams that I'm gonna see live. I'm gonna go Belgium. Brazil, Senegal in New York. Man, there's a lot of Senegalese that live in New York and Brazil. I mean, everyone lives in New York. I think I have to go Brazil. I'm going to say 2-2, and it's penalties. 2-2 penalties. And then Mexico, England. This is one that I actually would bet on. Like, I'm not a betting man, but if I was to make a crazy bet that it would win money, I would say Mexico to knock out England. 1-0. Maybe it's extra time. 1-0. It's going to be too hot in Mexico City. It's only Mexico would get an extra day off. I think this is a 50-50 game, and I'm saying Mexico win it. Because, yeah, England are good, but like they're not winning in the Azteca against Mexico, a Mexico team that if they win this game, they beat the curse of the 5th game, and they make it to the quarterfinal for the first time in fucking since 86. Like, I think Mexico wins this to break their curse. Argentina beat USA 3-0. And then Portugal, Switzerland. This is a game that I might go to if I want to drop 2K and see Ronaldo before he retires. I might do it. I'll say Portugal. Maybe in extra time, just like they did with Cote d'Ivoire. 2-1 in extra time. All right, France, Netherlands. I think this could go to extra time as well, but I don't see Netherlands winning this game. I don't. I think it's France. I really do. And then Colombia, Belgium. Wow, that is fun. That's a fun one. And I think the hype would be behind Colombia at this point. What a run they've had. Belgium finally living up to the expectation. The winner of this game will have overachieved, and the loser will have just come up short to just an iconic tournament. And I think the safe choice is Belgium. I'm going to go Colombia. I'll say 3-2 Colombia. Then, in Miami, Brazil, Mexico, quarterfinal. And I think saying Mexico semifinal just sounds crazy. When you see the pathway to do it, it's not that ridiculous, but are Mexico really going to beat England and Brazil at this World Cup? I don't think so. So I'm going to go Brazil. I do think Mexico are going to have a great tournament, make it to the quarterfinal. I really do believe that. I don't think they're going to make the semifinal. I'll tell you, at one point, I had them making the semifinal because I had Japan winning here, beating Senegal, and then Mexico beating Japan. So I did originally have Mexico making the semifinal, but I've cut back. I'm choosing Brazil. And then The game the world wanted. The game the world's been waiting for since 2010. Argentina versus Portugal at a World Cup in the quarterfinal. It's going to be 5-5. No, I'm kidding. It might go to penalties. I'm going to say Argentina win. To set up Brazil-Argentina semifinal and France-Colombia semifinal. No England, no Portugal, no Spain. I told you. 3 commendable... Sorry, I'm holding it. You guys. 3 commendable participants. And my favorite, I think France are the best team in the world. Usually, in a World Cup in Europe, European teams do really well, and then a World Cup in like the South America or other places, that's where South America does really well, right? So a World Cup in the Americas, I think South America is going to do better than they have, right? In Russia, it was all European teams, pretty much. Like, I think the one side of the bracket was almost entirely European teams, except for Colombia in 2018, and then the other side had like Brazil, Mexico, Uruguay, and Argentina. And none of those teams made the semifinal. 2022 had Morocco get there, and then, of course, Argentina win. But there's still a ton of European teams. I think this is the tournament. Like, if there's a tournament where we have South American, African, maybe even Japan, maybe an Asian. If we have non-European teams getting far, I think this is the tournament for it. So that's why I'm predicting this. I'm not predicting Colombia in the final, nor am I predicting Brazil in the final. I think Argentina win this by a goal. I think France win this by 2 goals. And we get a rematch of 2022, France's 3rd consecutive World Cup. And just like Brazil in the 90s and early 2000s, they win the first one, they lose the second one, and they win the third one. France to win the World Cup against Argentina. I will say, I'll say 2-1. 2-1. It's not going to be another 3-3. That was awesome. 2-1. Those are my predictions. France is my champion. We get Argentina, Portugal. We get Argentina, Brazil. We get Mexico, England. But, you know, I've got a really fun corner of the bracket because this corner is really, it's supposed to be Spain and I guess the U.S. That's what this corner of the bracket is supposed to be. And I have USA getting second in their group and then Spain getting second in their group. So it ends up being like the Turkey, Belgium, Uruguay, I guess, Colombia corner. Colombia end up coming out of it. Pretty confident France is going to dispatch Germany and Netherlands. I think that Belgium could be the team coming out of here. In real life, it's probably going to be Spain, right? If life is boring, it's going to be Spain. Japan, Mexico could be coming out of here. Could also be Brazil or England, right? And then this one, yeah, I really hope we get Argentina, Portugal, because they are just lined up to face each other. But I don't know, Switzerland could have something to say about that. Or maybe Spain, right? Maybe Spain, if they do get second, but you know, who knows? Those are my World Cup predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. What are your predictions? You can, if like, by all means, you can give me hate in the comments. You can be like, what an idiot. But like, I feel like the point of World Cup predictions isn't to just have France, Portugal, England, Spain in the semifinals every single fucking time. I've watched so many. I think I made it all the way to there without swearing. Every single fucking time I watch a World Cup prediction video, it's always the same. It's France, Portugal, England, Spain in the semifinals. There was even like one of the YouTubers I watched posted a thing, and I just scrolled right to the semifinal, and boom, he had those 4 flags. And I was like, great, I saved myself time because this guy is just blah, blah, blah. We are not going to get, I would actually bet my life on the fact that we are not going to get Spain, Portugal, England, France in the semifinals because that would just be the most boring World Cup ever. We're going to have a team like Colombia or maybe Belgium or Mexico, Japan. Like, we're going to have one of these teams in the semifinals or at least quarterfinals is going to get some action, right? Like, what do I have? I've got Mexico. I've got Belgium and Colombia, right? Netherlands. Like, yeah, I don't have the smallest teams ever in the quarterfinals, but like, I don't just have the same teams over and over. So thank you for watching. Those are my predictions. Let me know who, hold on. Let me get the final back up. Let me know who your champion is. What's your final? If you don't want to write a whole thing about who you think is going to blah, blah, blah. What's your final? Who's your champion? I was talking to my coworkers today, and there were 6 of us. I said France. We had 2 Spains. Father and son both said Spain. and then 2 Portugals, and 1 Brazil. That was the count, and 1 Netherlands, but he doesn't watch soccer. He just is half Dutch. So yeah, that's what the work crew is saying. I'm saying France Argentina rematch. I think that'd be cinema. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my predictions, and I hope you enjoy the World Cup. It's the best time every 4 years, and it's gonna be a great tournament. Thanks for watching. I'm okay. What's up? Goodbye.